How did you keep inflation under control?
Well, I think you raised a great point when you said that the president was constantly assessing this at all times, and he had a team that was. He liked to refer to people who had a feel for these things and was not ideological when it came to the fundamentals. And, that's something that there's no way we would have experienced the last year where the beginning of the Biden administration, people like me, but also people like Larry Summers and even Jason Furman from the Obama administration were saying, folks, you got to be careful, Biden administration, if you're going to pass another $2 trillion in spending right out of the gate. And then they didn't stop there. They kept going with their other Build Back Better approach. It didn't pass, thankfully. But what it hid was that the spending that was already underway that they were proposing elsewhere that we just passed is something that was still there. And it was an entire year, both at the administration, the White House, Office of Management Budget, Treasury, and the Fed, instead of tackling a problem that everyone knew was going to be an issue because of the steps that were required to deal with the pandemic and other the situations that we were dealing with. Everyone knew that this could be a problem. Instead of hitting the brakes, they hit the gas, and they tried to spend as much as the country could be willing to give them because they were ideologically committed. And yesterday proves that they are still ideologically committed.
Okay. So Trump had COVID in 2020, top to bottom. And it was worse under Trump because the whole economy shut down. And that is the reason I think he lost the election. So the country and the economy shuts down because of COVID. And then it reopens after the vaccine gets up and running. But still, inflation did not ignite. So you're saying that because the Biden administration printed so much money, gave away so much money, COVID relief funds and all this, which I think it had to do, he had to give away some money for COVID relief. You wouldn't argue with that, right?
No, I mean, I think we did enough already. I don't think that last round was necessary.
Okay, so
that
you guys did
trillion.
Under Trump because you were doing targeting too. Now, the other thing that you haven't mentioned and I didn't mention was the attack on the fossil fuel industry, the oil industry, which drove the futures, they call them futures, oil market, the price of oil up worldwide. And when the price of oil goes up worldwide, not just in the United States, then everything costs more, correct?
Correct. Every decision that they have made has been on the basis of their view of the climate catastrophe and anti-energy. Every decision that they make regulatorily. So they have, if we had a rule to get rid of, to have a shot clock to make sure that federal agencies decided on a 2-year time limit to make a decision on any infrastructure project. That's one of the things that we were most proud of. They would overturn that. Everything is designed towards using less energy. And so that has been a huge drag on the economy instead of what Larry would talk about, which is a V-shaped recovery where you have this initial shock that we saw in COVID and then you spring out of it because of your economic growth policies. They have hurt that V-shaped to a great extent, and it's largely because of their anti-energy policy and their overall regulatory structure that's designed to control the country as opposed to let it free and let it grow.